2, buckle my shoe, 3, 4. Come here. 1, 2, buckle my shoe, 3, 4.
Good job. Hey y'all, what's up? Welcome back to Jody B TV. Y'all, it has been such a long time since I posted a video. I'm so ashamed. I'm so embarrassed. I am so sorry. I had so many people come to me like, girl, when are you gonna post another video? Like, what's really going on? Like, we subscribed, we was ready for the content, you had a dope trailer, and then boom. Yeah, I'm sorry y'all. I'm gonna be very honest, y'all. Videoing yourself when you're really not talking to nobody, you're just talking to the camera, it's a little intimidating and nerve-wracking, and it's scary. I'm the type of person that's kind of like, I peep the vibes, I sit back, I chill, I relax. I'm like, okay, cool, like now I can engage in conversation with this person. That's just how I've always been my entire life. Like, I enjoy people, I enjoy talking to people when I do, but initially, like, nah, I gotta feel the vibes. That's why I don't even talk on my IG. Like, I don't do no live videos. Like, I just literally post the videos of my workouts, and that's really it. Cause I don't know, it's weird. I posted on my IG and was like, do y'all want to hear about my COVID experience? And the majority of you guys say yes, about 85%. So I was like, here you go. To the backstory of the COVID situation. So we went to Mexico May the 27th through, no, I keep saying the 27th, May the 24th through the 27th. So it was only from that Monday through that Thursday. And of course you had to get a test before you go to the country and coming back to the US from the country. Both tests were negative. It was fine. But I will say, 2 weeks before we went to Mexico, we did have me and Julia, we both had a really bad sinus infection. It kind of took us out. We were I was out of work for like 2 days, and I just thought like I was having like lingering symptoms from it. Like when I was in Mexico, I really didn't have any symptoms, but I did have like some like phlegm a little bit. So other than that, like it was just like phlegm. And went to Mexico, was fine. Didn't really worry about it, didn't really think about it, didn't bother me. And then when I came back from Mexico, I want to say it was like that Friday, the 28th or something, like I was just thinking about it. I was like, oh, I still have this phlegm. Like I have had this phlegm for like the past 2 weeks, since I had the sinus infection. So I was like, you know what, let me check, and just to make sure, because I know a lot of people say like it's the buildup in your chest and everything that causes pneumonia and stuff like that. So I assume like if anything it could be pneumonia, and I wanted to make sure it wasn't that. So I went to the doctor, and that Thursday, which was the 3rd, of June, I went to the doctor, and I noticed like I had a whole lot of other stuff going on. Like I was super tired, and y'all, like this type stuff did not dawn on me of anything about COVID. So I had no idea, no thoughts of COVID in my head. Like I was just like, I'm super tired because I've been traveling. I've been back at work. I work 10-hour days, and then I have my little boy and just doing the mommy life and whatever. I'm in school, like I'm just doing a whole bunch of stuff. So I'm tired. So I'm like having all these body aches. I'm tired. Then on the 2nd, June the 2nd, which was that Wednesday, I went to work and I had this massive headache. It was so bad. I was telling Julian, I was like, well, you just need to come home, you need to rest, da da da. And I'm like, nah, like I'm good. Like it's probably because I've been looking at the computer all the day. But then I was like thinking about it. I'm like, I'm having all these things. Like, let me just take my behind to the doctor and make sure it's not pneumonia. Because y'all, you look at Google, you look at the symptoms, you like, let me make sure, whatever. COVID again never crossed my mind, because of course we had 2 negative tests. So then I go to the doctor. The doctor's like, oh yeah, you're fine, like you're healthy, and you probably just have a little lingering of the sinus infection. I can't think. The sinus infection, and you're fine, like you're super healthy, whatever. Like, and then she's like, are you stressed though? I was like, I might be a little stressed, and that was it. Like, she gave me a test just to make sure, because I guess it's protocol at this point. gave me a COVID test, whatever. This time I did not get a rapid test. Now I will say we did get a rapid test before we left, and we got a rapid test coming back. So I don't know, if that's a difference between the rapid test versus the 72-hour test. I don't know, but she did, make sure I did that. She gave me some antibiotics just in case I did have an infection in my body. Took my blood work, and I was out the door. She's like, okay, just rest. Okay, so Sunday come around, and mind you, at this point, I've actually gotten worse. Like, my symptoms have gotten worse. Like, I have, and I'm thinking at this point, okay, it may just be another reoccurring sinus infection. All this, y'all, when I say it felt like somebody punched me in my face, y'all, it was the worst feeling of my life. I was so tired. I was driving that Friday. So I went to the doctor Thursday. That Friday, I was driving, and I literally was about to fall asleep on the road. Like, I had to be like, yo, Joy, you got to take the wheel. You got to drive, because I could not. Like, I just could not, y'all. I could not deal. And I will say that Friday, I was with my mom, and she's right now going through chemotherapy. And I was like, not thinking that I had anything that I could give to her. I was just thinking, like, another sinus infection, or just tired or stressed, or whatever the case was. And then she even reassured. She's like, no, you're fine. Like, you're okay. Like, nobody ever thought about COVID, which is crazy because we're not vaccinated. I just felt like if everybody else get vaccinated, I'm good. I'll just still steer clear away from, everything that's going on. Be careful and cautious, and I'll be good. So, my mom was like, no, you're fine. Whatever the case is. I was like, Mom, I want to make sure. I did keep my mask on the whole time, just in case, because, her immune system is super low right now. And I just, made sure. But that was Friday, June 4th. Saturday, still was in bed all day. At this point, we, of course, been around the baby the whole entire time, all day. And he was fine. Like, he did have, like, a little runny nose. Never had a fever. None of us ever had a fever. And I was just like, oh, Mason just has like a little one set of some allergies or something, but he's fine. He's been running around, moving, having the time of his life. He's fine. So that was Saturday. We just stayed in bed all day and just chill, because again, we were exhausted. And I think at this point, Julian, he was super like nauseous, and he was tired, of course, and he had no appetite, and I want to say he had chills. So he had all of the opposite things that I had. Like, of course, tiredness we both had, but everything else, like, he had like chills. He might have had a fever. We never checked. He had body ache, fatigue, and what else did he? Oh, nauseous. He actually threw up. Me, I had all of the like other stuff, all the upper respiratory stuff. So my chest felt heavy with pain. All this right here felt bad. Headache, of course. Tired, body aches, all that, whatever. So we were like kind of the total opposite. So Saturday, okay, I said, and then Sunday. So Sunday, my mom was like, y'all still feel bad? Like, okay, well, just, make sure you are drinking a lot of water, eating healthy. So at this point, I'm like, okay, like, let me take this serious. Like, let me go ahead and get up on my green juice. Let me eat my kales and my vegetables. Let me eat my fruits. Let me take some vitamins, because I've been super slack. I have not been taking my vitamin. And the doctor did tell me too, even if I did have COVID, to make sure you're, making sure you're taking your vitamin D, because vitamin D, it just helps with your immunity. So I was like, okay, let me start taking my vitamin D on Sunday, right? Meanwhile, I've had all these issues for however long at this point. And so I went ahead and I was like, okay, let me put the hot towel on my face Sunday morning. Let me get myself together. Let me just get right. At this point, it was like maybe 10:30 in the morning. I had just gotten out the shower, tried to like get all this cleared up and all this from the steam. And D had called me. At this point, I didn't see the call, so I called back. I'm like, why is D had calling me? So D had calls, And I call back and I'm like, I'm just returning calls. She's like, oh yeah, like we're just calling and making our rounds, like making sure we update our information with everything that, you know, you have going on. I'm like, what? Like, okay. Like I didn't think nothing of it, y'all. My mind is foggy at this point. I ain't asking questions. I'm like, okay, what do you need to know? Yeah, so, you know, basically, like, who have you been around? Like, where you work? Like, have you been out the country? Just asking everything in the book. And I'm like, okay, what is this for again? She's like, well, we have to call up on people who have tested positive for COVID. I'm like, what? Tested positive? Why you ain't leave that in the conversation before asking me all these questions? So I immediately think of my mom, because I was just with her during her treatment, sat back with her and everything. Like, we wasn't close, you know, super close, but I did sit back with her throughout her whole entire treatment. And that's instantly all I kept replaying. I'm like, bro, why did I not stay home? I freaking have COVID and I probably infected everybody. Why did I not stay home? Like, what was, you know, like, I just didn't think of COVID, y'all. I don't know, at this point, like, COVID has been around for so long, and you see so many people get vaccinated, or so many people have already had it, to the point you like, COVID is kind of like a little bit non-existent, maybe. Nah, B. Not when you traveling and you on planes and you interacting with different people, all, you know, like, I didn't think of that. And the fact of the matter is, I tested negative twice at this point. So I'm not thinking nothing of COVID for me to actually have the freaking COVID. I immediately asked her, I'm like, okay, so I have my little boy with me. Like, if there's anything I need to do differently, like, I've already been all up in his face at this point. Like, he be kissing me. Like, what can I do? Because I don't want anything to be wrong with my baby. So she's like, no, like, as long as he don't have a fever, like, you know, just make sure you keep a watch, keep a close eye, and that's it. So I'm thinking, like, wow, there's so many people that I've known that died from this disease. And to actually know that I'm going through it currently, and I have actual respiratory situations or issues to the point where I'm like, bro, am I gonna make it through? Like, am I gonna be okay? I gotta get my life together. I gotta get my stuff ready for my baby. Like, y'all, I'm just thinking about everything. I'm thinking about my mama. Like, oh my God, like, please don't let me have infected her. And I'm like, who gave it to who? Like, did I tested positive first, or did I give it to Julian? Like, y'all, it was so many things running through my mind, my head. I was like, oh my God. And meanwhile, Julian's like about to walk out the door at this point. And I'm like, bro, I have COVID, so you can't go nowhere right now. He looked at me, he's like, oh, like, bro, we got a whole nother situation to deal with at this point. And I'm like, bro, I can't, like, what to do, right? So at this point, I'm like, I ain't gonna lie, y'all, I fell into depression for like 2-3 days, because just to think about how many people's lives were sacrificed for this same very reason. Y'all, I ain't gonna lie, I was depressed. I was depressed for 2 days. I probably stayed in bed for like 2 straight days. And like, I was just like a walking zombie. Everybody was calling, are you okay? Everything all right? You need us to bring anything? I'm like, no, I'm good. I'm not a homebody. I like to be out. I like to enjoy the scene, the vibes. I like to brunch. I like to be with my family. And that's another thing. I missed like a really big family event that weekend, because I was like, let me stay home. I don't want to, because I don't feel good anyway. Like, there's no point in me going. So I didn't go to that. And then to know that I was going to miss out on so many other things, like my cousin's graduation parties, and just birthday party. Like, it was just this, like, everything that's coming up Father's Day. Like, I was over it, y'all. I fell into depression because I am not a homebody. I like to be out, okay? So, and then I was feeling so bad, y'all. So I was so scared. Like, I was so scared. So that Monday, my doctor called me. And she was just like, oh, we need you to come in. We got to give you some medicine, and we got to make sure everything is good. So I did go to the doctor. I was able to go to the doctor. She checked my oxygen levels, which was perfect in her words. And, everything's fine. I actually was starting to feel better at this point. A little bit better. I was still a little depressed. I ain't gonna lie. I was still a little depressed. And I was also waiting too for my mom to get her COVID test back. And I was just like praying and praying, yo. Okay, like that was probably the most nerve-wracking thing of my life, is to make sure that I didn't affect my mother, who immunity is not currently where it needs to be right now. Like I was definitely scared. But hers came back negative. She's fine. Got my meds, came back home because there ain't nothing else to do. I can't go nowhere, can't do anything. So today it's Friday, June the 11th, and this is day, I believe, 8 at this point. So it counts from the day or the onset of the symptoms, which I believe I told them the 2nd because I went to the doctor the 3rd. So it's supposed to be either from 10 days to 14 days, depending. Like my job says 10 days, but the doctor says 14 days. So I'm just gonna go off the doctor because they know best, right? And I got 5 more days to go, so I'm on day 9. Oh, how lovely. I'm about to miss so many events this weekend, and I'm so upset. Like, my little heart is just broken. It is what it is. I'm here. I'm still living. I can't complain. I'm so thankful for life. And y'all, this really opens up your eyes and being like, how grateful, you know, you are to still have life to live. You know, so many people did not make it with this. So many people who are just as healthy as I was still passed away, you know. So like, I thank God every day I come out here on this balcony, and I'm just so grateful, and I'm just thanking him daily for allowing me still to be here with my family, living, breathing, and just being with my baby. Even though my baby, y'all, he is driving me crazy. Y'all, this little boy, I know he's not even 2 yet, so I know he's just going crazy, stuck in his house, can't go nowhere, can't do anything, can't go to the park, can't, you know. And I just feel so bad. Like I'm potty training him as well, and I just feel so bad, like, oh my God, what to do with this baby? Like, I try to read, of course. I'm trying to like keep him interactive, putting on different shows, like doing the whole 9, and it's a struggle. Okay, so y'all pray for me. Pray for me to get through the rest of these 5 days with this baby. Well, for him, I think he'll be able to go back to daycare Monday. I'm gonna ask his daycare provider, make sure, but he needs to be back with the kids and out of this house. And I just feel so bad for my baby. Julian, on the other hand, I guess he's kind of just walking zombie like me, going through the motions. He's fine though, as far as like all of his symptoms is cleared up. Of course, he's still tired. I'm still tired. I still have a little chest pain, so it's kind of making me nervous. I'm on antibiotic though because of it. He's not, because he doesn't have that symptom, even though I feel like he probably should too, just to make sure. But you know how men are. They're not going to go to the doctor. They're just going off of, you know, you at this point. But yeah, y'all. So that was my COVID experience. It's been a journey. It's been interesting. You know, it is an eye-opener. Just like I say, forever grateful that it did not take me out. And this just gives me more of a reason to go ahead and get my life together and do things that I'm supposed to do while I'm here on this earth. Like, to be honest, like, I'm just, like I say, I'm grateful. But anyway, you guys, I hope I did not bore y'all to death. I'm just sitting out here enjoying, you know, the beauty of outside. I'll have more content for you guys soon. Let me know if anybody, like, in your family, around you, or even if you have experienced COVID. I would love to hear y'all stories, just because everybody's is different. I guess we had a mild case, a couple other people in our family who's had it. Some of them had severe, so of course they made it through there fine. But it's just, you know, COVID is real. You know, a lot of people wasn't taking it serious in the beginning, but it's definitely super real. He wanted to say hey to the people. Say hey. Say, I'm feeling better. I'm feeling good. He doesn't even have a runny nose anymore. So like, that's good. That just goes to show he don't have no fever, but he don't wear no clothes. So his body is warm all the time anyway. You feel good today? Yeah. Yeah. All right, y'all. Well, definitely like, comment, and subscribe. Like I say in the comments, Give me some feedback. Tell me what y'all want to see some more of. Of course, I know y'all probably want to see more of him, which I will have a video soon about his potty training experience. But in the meantime, in between time, your girl gonna be out. Bye, y'all. You're not going with Auntie. What do you mean? You gotta come back in the house. We still got a few more days of quarantine. Come on. No. Come on, Mason. You can't go.
6 feet, Mason. 6 feet. 6 feet.
I'm out, man.
6 feet.
So I just wanted to add this little insert. So me and Mason got tested for our COVID test yesterday. It was originally just supposed to be him so he can go back to daycare or whatever to have the paperwork. But I went ahead and I wanted the test in theory because everyone was like, well, you know, it stays in your system for this amount of time. It might be 3 to 6 months. You're still going to have the antibodies, yada, yada. Okay, cool. Well, the test was not rapid. And I do just feel more comfortable with it not being a rapid test. I feel like it's more accurate, whatever the case is. And it was negative, okay? So your girl is out